Hey guys, welcome back. I hope everybody's doing well today. Still a little chilly, it's freezing. We're gonna have a few days of cold weather, but I was looking, there was something, I had a video a while back. It was probably like November, and I was talking about, it could have been September, but I was talking about the land being given back to the indigenous people and stuff like that, like land that was taken from them. And no crap, I saw this article and I was like, oh my gosh. So I think it was in Wisconsin, but on November 29th of 25, there was a Catholic nun group in Wisconsin that gave back, first time ever this has occurred. They gave back this land that they had and they gave it to the Native Americans because it was their land anyway. And I was like, whoa, that is so awesome. That is so cool. And, there were Native Americans that had traveled so far just to come to that ceremony because they were so excited to have their kids and, upcoming generations grow up with the culture and the land and just their values and morals and like how they do things. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is so awesome. Like when I said that, I was really thinking that exact thing, that's how it should be. I apologize. But I was thinking that's how it should be, you know, is that the people that do take care of the land, that live off the land, that honor the land, that put back into the land, they should have that back, right? Because everywhere I look, there's like fields being taken up for housing additions, right? I'm sure everyone's noticed that. But like even if you live in a country area, it's almost like the city is creeping up into where you live. It's so sad. Nobody wants that. Every time I see a field like, with a sign that says, you know, for sale or whatnot, it just like really bums me out. It's like, my gosh, how many housing additions do we need? Right? Are there not enough houses already up and available, right? And if they can't be lived in, then take the house down. I just feel like they're just wasting space. But when I saw that Catholic nun story in Wisconsin, they gave that land back to the Native Americans. I was like, man, that's awesome. I had a little tear over it, to be honest, because just seeing like how happy these people were. They had their whole ceremony with their drums and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome, because they're going to cultivate that land and they're going to let that prosper, right? They're going to grow things on it. It's going to be, it's just going to be part of the indigenous people that live on the land, right? I don't know. It was just really cool. It was the first time ever that was done. Maybe look into it, but I just think that's great. You know, the society we live in has changed the cultures and values of small communities like that, right? I mean, that's why really you hardly see any like tribes or, things like that because those people have been wiped out. I mean, everyone has their own way of being or believing, or, some people live off the land, or some people, they teach their kids to hunt and all this. I mean, it's so different. How are you going to hunt when there's only housing additions around? You know what I mean? So keep that in mind. I was just like, man, what a blessing. I really had a prayer when I saw that article back in November. I was like, that's awesome. I was so grateful that those nuns decided to make that move and give that land back. That was really cool. So just keep that in mind. Today is Sunday. So, Sunday is a day of rest, relaxation, rejuvenation. It's a day to give back to the Lord and, to your family. Make a dinner, have them over, keep that bond tight. It's really important because society wants to divide the family unit, divide cultures, divide people. Don't let that happen. You know, it's always nice to like have that love, of family ties and, just that relationship that is the family unit. I don't even know why I feel like I'm getting teared up right now. Oh man, sometimes I'm like, why? Why is my heart so big? It's not even like over emotional. It's just like certain things I see, like when I read that article, it just, I don't know. It's like God does something to my heart. It's so crazy. I love that it's so big, but also it can just really be painful sometimes when you have so much love for people and they don't even have love for themselves. And so therefore they can't accept it, or they don't know how to accept it, or they push it away because it's uncomfortable. Like when you just care for somebody, or just, I don't know, the world has just become comfortable being cold, you know? So don't let that happen. Maybe just spend Sundays like, you know, praying and getting into your heart space, right? Loving stuff, doing a hobby that you like, right? You shouldn't be out like working tirelessly. Sunday is a day to think, right? It's a day to ponder and to dream and to connect with God and your family, right? It really is. So, I don't know. Keep that in mind. I was just thinking about that today, and it is really important. So, I love you guys. I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a good night, right? Stay warm.